Christ was in the flesh of a man. For Christ to come to the flesh of a man, he had to lower himself. And the reason...
Lower from what?
From the state of divinity.
Explain to me...
From the state of omnipresence.
Explain to me how, when someone is unknowledgeable, can become less than unknowledgeable.
I will explain to you.
Go ahead.
It is when he loves
Take your time.
creation so much that he will willingly enter the body of a man so he can take on the punishment, your punishment that you deserve, he will take on himself so that you can spend eternity with the Father, you can be in relationship with the Father, you can be one with the Father. And the only way that happens is when you deny your own will and you accept the will of the Father, which will mean you'll become one with the Father.
What did I ask you to explain? Explain to me someone who is unknowledgeable, who knows the future already. Let me go to step by step.
Can I ask you?
Let me go through step by step.
Who has no limits.
Step by step.
His face was covered by a veil of light.
Shall we go by step by step?
No. Answer that. A God who is perfect and limitless. How does a veil of light cover his face, as it says so in the Quran?
Say that again.
So a God who is limitless and perfect, in the Quran it says that he covered his face with a veil of light because his face would.
That veil.
That veil is on equal level with God, is it?
Did you ask me a question to answer, or you're suddenly in a very heckling mode? Like some hecklers come through. Ignore the hecklers and concentrate on me, right? Ignore the hecklers and concentrate on me. So so you have a veil. If I put a veil to you like this, right? Can you see me?
No, I can't.
It's preventing you from seeing me.
Yeah, you're not God, my friend. You're
Listen. Emanating to him. So you, because your field of vision is only limited, you only need to have a limited.
No, that is,
can I finish?
That is a logical fallacy.
Can I
If
finish?
God is so great,
Can I?
His glory would have broken
Jude,
through the veil of
Jude,
light.
can I finish?
Yes.
When someone is prevented from seeing God, are you thinking? Listen.
No, it didn't say. And
Can
I
I?
prevented them from
I
seeing
want you
me.
to.
It said there was a veil of light before the God of.
Listen.
Before the face of God, so that man could not, so it would hold back his glory. Because his glory.
Where did you get this from? Where did you get this from? Where did you get this from? Show me the text. Show me the text.
And I can pull it out if you would like.
Show me the text.
What point is he making?
What I'm saying to you, a limited human being like the Prophet ﷺ, he can be veiled from seeing God with a veil which is only necessary for his limited vision.
No, then what's the point of the veil? Because man could have just blinded.
Listen.
No, God could have just blinded man. But there was a veil.
Firstly,
I will tell you why. Because
you are confusing.
No, you are confusing.
Where?
You
Look,
are confusing.
what am I confusing?
The limitation of man to the limitlessness of God. And it's not about the limitless. It's not about the limited man. It's about the limitlessness of God. Because it was a veil of light that covered the limitless face of God.
Hang on.
But light is physical and limited.
Listen. Why does it say that? Show me the text.
I mean, I can try and find it.
So why should he?
Do you have the text?
I'm going to find it.
Oh, you haven't got the text. You're going to find it.
No,
Who are you going to ask?
I have a Muslim brother here finding text for you. I don't have any Christian brother.
Look.
Text for me, so I have to find the text.
Go and other than the hecklers, ask sincere people to find the text for you. Right. See how he's heckling? So now I'm speaking to you. I'm not interested in speaking to hecklers, right? Now, next point. So we are talking about you believe in a God, the Christ, the Son of God.
Notice how he avoided the question.
Listen.
How the veil of light covered the limitless face of God.
Where does it say that?
Okay. And then you're going to say, why are you looking it up? And
do you have it? How long do you need? How long do you need? Tell me. Go on. Okay, find it. Go on, find it. Find the text.
It's been here 20 years.
Find the text. Once you find the text, we'll deal with the text.
So that's it then. You have to make them wait and wonder through all these hadiths to find it. Otherwise you won't address it. Why don't you just address it?
Get a life other than heckling. Get your own discussion.
No, I'll read it up for you guys. Don't worry about it.
And then we will return back to the question of how the unknowledgeable Christ left his knowledge and became ignorant. That's the point of discussion. That's the point of discussion. So you have unknowledgeable Christ became ignorant. How did that happen?
Very simple.
I will, because he understood that for man to be with him, because man is so broken, that he would have to take on the punishment of man. Because man cannot.
Do you know what unknowledgeable means?
Do you understand that in Islam, all your works will never come near the glory of God?
You are not thinking about the point of discussion. Unknowledgeable means you know the future already. So what's going to happen 20 years later, you know it already. And then you come here on earth and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. While you knew what's going to happen tomorrow, 20 years later. That doesn't make any sense. If you already knew the future 20 years later what's going to happen, and then you come here and you say, I don't know what's going to happen. So did you know what's going to happen? Of course you didn't know what's going to happen. So you cannot know the future and then not know the future. It makes no sense. Do you understand that point? It makes no sense that you know the future and then you don't know the future.
Afterwards, he describes exactly what the end times will be like. So if Jesus Christ doesn't know when the end times will happen, how then can he describe exactly what will happen before the end times? Implying that he's aware of what will occur, simply is not his role to declare it. It is that simple. Don't act desperate.
Look how many hecklers come through.
No, Mansur doesn't want to come to a Christian.
What a desperate life. So Jude,
But he's not a debater.
Jude.
He's just an uneducated Christian.
Brother, can you leave him?
Yeah.
Okay, Jude,
Can I just go and find a
Jude. So now,
Muslim
did you find
and
it?
start debating it.
Did you find it?
Mansur,
So you haven't found it. So now tell me, explain to me.
So powerful.
Hey,
If
coward.
God is
You're a
unknowledgeable,
coward.
how does he then forget?
Be a coward, Mansur.
Go ahead.
Why don't you talk to a
Be quiet,
debater?
move on my face.
Mansur,
You
stop
are the one
ignoring.
who came in front of me. Okay, great. All right, so.
Don't touch him, man.
Just stay here. Ignore the hecklers. These are violent hecklers. These are violent hecklers. So ignore them.
I'll tell you your answer.
Move out of my face.
I'm going to tell you the answer whether
Tell
you
me to
like
move out
it or
of my
not.
face.
You want me to
Move out
answer?
of my face. Yeah? Just move out
You're
of my face.
touching my face. Don't touch my face.
Move out of my face.
Touching me. Don't
Yes.
touch me.
Move out of my face.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me, Mansur.
Look,
You can't
move
touch
out
me.
of my face.
I'm here.
You see?
Mansur, you want me to answer? I'll answer for you. He asked me to answer.
No. Carry on.
I'm going to answer for him.
Let this heckless go.
No. I'm going to answer for him.
Get lost.
Okay, I'm going to talk to you.
I mean,
Jesus said,
Apologize.
I need
listen.
to find somebody else because I'm going
It
to
was
go
only a
soon.
slight thing, right? Right.
That's the reason why Jesus is
Move out of my face. You are invading my private space.
You are in my private space.
What a joker you
You
are.
touched me, Mansur. You can't touch me, okay?
I just did.
Yeah, you did. And
I
I
did.
touched you back.
What?
So
You know what I did? I did this. You know why I did this?
Why?
Because you came to my private space.
Okay, so you
I wasn't stopping you.
If you
I was
touch
simply
me,
doing
I'm right
this.
here.
This.
No, he touched
Right.
me.
I did.
Yeah.
Because you came to my private space.
No,
And
I
only
came to a
with
public
my
space.
love.
This is a public space.
No.
Here we go.
This is a public space. Nobody can touch anybody here.
Get away from me, you Satan.
No, you are Satan. You worship the moon god. You're the moon god worshipper.
Just walk away. Look, he's
You
violating.
worship the moon god.
He's violating my private space. You're violating my private
No,
space.
no. You hit me.
Okay, come here, come here. Jude, come here.
I need to go now.
No, did you find it?
Well, yeah.
I'm not hurting you at all. I'm not doing anything to you.
Stay away from me, okay?
Okay, fine. I am right here. So if you want to go away, go away.
You know what, Mansur bhai, last week, yeah, we had so many brothers embrace Islam. It's because of that they come and heckle.
They are dying in rage.
If you go on TV, there are Muslim clerics saying 400,000 people in Pakistan are apostatizing. 400,000 people on TV. Ask about blasphemers of 400,000.
What did you
Because
find?
of us.
Well, I mean, I can show you what I found.
We're
Yeah?
exposing Islam.
The
We're
Prophet
here to
said
expose you
that Allah
guys.
No. Where
We're
are
here
you
to
reading
expose
from?
you guys. I'm away from you.
Well, it's
I'm not interested in any website unless it's a hadith website, which sources where it's from.
A hadith website.
Yeah, you need to give me a source which is authentic, then I can look into it. I don't want a Christian polemicist writing about this and say, there you go, what it is.
What is a valuable, respectable source to you?
That's what your religion teaches. Lie to your wife. That's what your religion teaches. In Christianity, you never lie. That's what your religion teaches. You get pregnant.
Leave this Christian hecklers alone, right? They are so desperate because last Sunday, how many people become Muslim?
You were trying to talk.
4 people became Muslim. 4.
But
Okay.
what is a
So,
respectable source?
Last
to you?
time you were talking to a young Muslim, a Christian, and
If you're going to say the Prophet said so,
you said I need certain websites
look,
that are
look,
credible.
the
so can you
text
tell me
has to
that?
be a hadith,
A hadith.
which is
The thing is, I'll be
from a hadith source, like a book of hadith, right?
What do you mean by copy?
And show me the Arabic and English, preferably.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's working, man, chat. She's on.
So let me make a request to you very kindly. Don't come to my talks. Have your own talk, get a ladder. If you don't have money, I will pay for the ladders. And you can then go and talk and preach Christianity all day long, no problem. But do not come and interfere with my discussions, because my discussion...
Stop coming
So,
to young Christians.
is that reasonable?
No, it's not. I'm here to debate Muslims. You
Go
are
and
a
debate
debater.
Muslims then.
Yes,
I'm not
and
interested in
gonna
debating you.
debate
I'm not interested.
Why are you always heckling?
I'm not interested in
Why are you
discussing
heckling
you.
us?
I'm not interested in discussing with you.
No, that's
Okay.
fine. That's fine. I want to.
That's my right.
As much as the right as anybody here to be here to
That's-
listen to your talk.
it's my
if
right
you're talking lies
to
and I
decline.
can come and
I decline to debate you,
doesn't
discuss
matter
with
if you
you.
do or not. I can defend Christianity. I think you are offending Christianity, and I'm defending it. How is that?
Get a ladder and defend.
I'm defending it right here.
Not on my talk.
Why not? This
Because-
is not your house. I'm not in your home.
Look.
This is a public space.
When you are doing this kind of behavior, it's called
I don't have to.
heckling.
It's not your.
You are heckling.
No,
I don't want
I
you
can.
heckling.
This is a place for hecklers. If I want to, I can. And you know
Oh,
that.
you like heckling?
No, I don't. I'm here to talk to you. You're
I'm not
talking
interested.
To, why are you talking to him?
I'm not interested
Oh,
in
you're
talking to you.
talking to young guys.
No.
You're looking for people that
I
cannot
talk to
debate
people
you.
who are even
Why don't you
90s.
talk to people who can debate you?
I've talked to people 90s, 80s,
No,
70s, 60s.
I've talked to you.
You are just a
and you
child,
have
a
run
kid.
away. You have run away from the moon god. You run away.
read it.
Over here.
Yeah, go on, say what it says.
Read it out loud.
Okay, so
Doesn't matter. There's no designation of
the
anybody's
saying
area.
of the Prophet,
It's not,
peace be upon him, Allah does not sleep, and his veil is light, and if he were to remove it, the splendor of his face would burn all of his creation as far as his sight reaches. It's definitely
No, no,
in
no, it's
Arabic
fine.
as well.
So that goes with me. So basically, hang on. Wait. Don't take it. So this is exactly what we believe, and it's agreeing with us that God doesn't remove his veil,
he's talking to my
right? So a veil prevents people. What did you say?
God and the veil one.
Wait. What were we discussing? That there is apparently a hadith which says, God had a veil, and then what? It has nothing to do with what you claim. It goes against what you claim.
So what did I claim?
You tell me. What did you claim? You made the claim.
Well, so a veil of light, is God a veil of light?
No.
So they are separate.
Yeah.
Is there anything on the same level as God?
No.
So then, if a veil of light can cover the entire glory of God, it must be
No, cover it for
as
who?
glorious.
Covering for who?
For man. It doesn't matter who it's covering.
Listen.
Because it's about the glory of God.
Listen.
Because if it is less than God, his glory would break through.
Try
it.
to understand and reason. You within this world, you have a limited amount of vision.
Oh, so
Excuse
so
me.
it's about
Are you going to let me
So when
finish?
it's something Allah
Do you want
does,
me to explain
it's
to
my
you?
limited knowledge. But when
Yes.
it's something Christ does, it's This
Wait.
this man is so great.
Take consistently
The young
in your
Christian
belief.
is kicking his butt.
So in
Mansur's
your
getting his butt kicked
in
by
your
a
belief,
Christian.
in
Whoa,
your belief,
shame on you, Mansur.
the
Shame on
unknowledgeable
you.
God, what happens to him? He becomes less than unknowledgeable.
Oh,
In Philippians
he knocked
2,
that a bit. Oh,
in
Mansur,
Philippians
great job.
2, do you know what happened?
No, I'm asking you to
Wait,
recognize.
I am
that
telling you.
As God
Do
you
limited himself in
understand?
Christ,
Do you
God has,
understand?
in that verse, God has
Over
limited
again
himself.
and misinterpreted
He has either
despite
limited
me
himself
telling you what
behind
it
a
meant.
veil of
I love
light, or the veil is equal to God. There are only two options.
Remember, in your Philippians 2,
Yes.
do you know what
No,
happened?
no, I just asked you a
happened?
question and you ignored it, my friend.
Look, hang on.
tap dancing.
Do you know what?
It's called tap dancing.
How the incarnation happened? Do you know?
What do you mean by that?
Wow,
If
he
you
knows
look at
our
the
God.
Quran,
Did
apparently,
Christ?
Are you asking to understand the
the
mechanism?
Spirit of Allah appeared
In
to
your
Mary
belief
in the
system,
form of a well-proportioned man.
the
And
unknowledgeable
in
God,
6:12, we are told
He
that
limited
Allah
himself
is the
to
one who
incarnate and
brings
take
back
into
of
a
himself
finite
in
human
Mary.
body.
Therefore,
Right?
if you mix 19,
How did that happen?
and 6:12,
Are you asking as if I understand the mechanics behind it, or what?
Do you understand what even makes sense or not?
Well, what does the Quran say? Ask him what does the Quran say. How
Does it
did
make
Jesus
sense
come
to you?
the
The
world?
unknowledgeable limits himself. It's like this. Imagine now you know my name, Mansur. I'm gonna give you an analogy. My name is Mansur, and you never forget. Yeah. Listen. Are you listening, Jude?
All I'm seeing is sliding and
You know my name. What is my name?
Give me the answer.
Mansur.
Yes.
And imagine
Mansur,
you
yes.
never forget.
Yes.
Never forget.
Okay.
Now, can you then somehow transform yourself while you know my name and you will never forget, and then not know my name anymore?
If I was God, out of my will I could. Just as Allah, because He is God, out of His will He lets the light cover His face. If God could not do something that was incoherent,
God-
then He wouldn't have placed a veil of light before
I've
His face,
explained
because
to
He
you
would have been
already.
aware
I've
that
explained
the
to you
glory of
already.
His face would have blown through the veil of
Listen
light.
carefully.
But it didn't, because He willed
Jude.
that it wouldn't.
Jude.
As God willed that He would be incarnate in the body of man,
Jude.
so He could take on the sins of the world, because they
Oh
cannot take on
man!
their
He
own
became
sin.
man.
Explain
to
to what you
save
just
man.
said.
He could not
Explain
be-
to me what you just said.
Wow,
Tell me
he
how
came
this
to
is
work
coherent.
other than wow.
Can you explain
Man,
to
he
me?
can
No,
kick your butt. I don't
explain
need
to
you,
me
bro.
how this is coherent.
I would like
on
you
his
to
own.
explain to me
Oh
how
my God.
God in Christ is different to a veil of
Mansur's
light
first
covering
day
the
in
face of
Speaker's
God.
Corner.
Where's
Getting his
the
ass
difference?
kicked
It's
by
two
a
physical things.
Did I not tell you the faces that's covering is covering the limitations of man, so they are not able to comprehend
I
God.
could just say the exact
Right.
same
God-
thing, that your
Even
mind
though he
cannot
runs away from
understand
debaters.
Wait.
how God is.
I am not saying my
incarnate in a
mind
man.
cannot understand. I'm just giving you the
You
mechanism.
absolutely are, because you're rejecting it.
Excuse me.
No, don't
I gave you the
don't touch
mechanism.
me, Don't touch me.
For example, imagine now God wants to be shown, right? He only needs to put a veil in front of me, which is for my covering my vision.
No, that's not what it says.
Hang on.
It says in front of His face, in front of the face of Allah.
Listen. So that it covers whose vision?
So it covers the vision of man,
Right.
but it's covering.
Wait.
Do you know what it's covering
Excuse
the
me.
vision of man from?
Excuse
the
me.
face of God, which is limitless.
Listen.
Is something physical
This-
such as light.
this
limitless.
vision-
If it is on the same level
Why
as
don't
God.
you? Why
do we not worship the veil of light?
Why don't you even?
Because if it can cover God's face, the minimum is that it's
You were
the
quite
minimum is that
you were
statistical.
quite
If
behaving
it-
rationally for a while, and suddenly with all the hecklers, you become like a
You
zombie.
should just go home now, bro.
Now
You're
listen.
done. Just go home.
So as I
Just
explained
give
to
up.
you,
You're
the
done.
vision that is restricted is our limited vision. We need enough of the veiling to restrict our vision.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's not what it says. It says it covers the face of Allah.
from what?
From the glory of Allah.
No, from the restriction.
It's not
From the
eyes
vision of
man
who?
that are so
You just read it
magnificent.
yourself.
It's not the eyes of man that are so magnificent.
Jude,
it's the
you
face
are
of
now
Allah.
being a little bit disingenuous.
No,
You
no.
just read it. It restricts
Okay,
from
so-
the
so
vision.
let's-
Read it again.
Let's read it again. Because it.
Who is it restricting from?
The saying of the Prophet, peace be upon him.
Let's read the Arabic.
Allah does not sleep, and His veil is at light. His veil, not the veil of man's eyes.
Absolutely.
And if He were to remove it, the splendor of His face would burn all of His creation as far as His sight reaches.
Sure.
So it's actually based on the sight of
Wait,
Allah,
wait,
covering the glorious face of Allah.
Wait. Let's read that again. Let's all understand that. Okay?
Let's see Tafsir Mansur. Let's see how he does it.
Mansur, this is the worst day, man. I gotta tell you.
Okay.
This is your worst day.
You say? Listen. Your heckling doesn't help the discussion. Right? You've all been busted already, so there's no point trying
really?
to,
Oh, really?
to
Get busted by a
reignite.
kid.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Listen
You just
carefully.
get busted by a kid.
If he were to remove it, what will happen? The splendor of his face would burn all of the creation.
Can we look at the entire verse where it says his veil is light, not man's veil, man's eye. The
Would
veil
you
of
would
man's
you would you
eyes.
would you want to understand what it says?
Yes.
Go on, tell me what it says.
I just read it in its entirety.
But
and you are not reading it.
so you're not understanding it. Okay, let me help you understand the text.
So I'm sorry. Me reading it in its entirety is me not understanding it.
Read it entirely.
Twisted, Mansur.
Who will get burned? The creation. Can the creation comprehend the entirety of God?
No, obviously.
Right. That means if the veil was removed, what will happen? All the
Can I ask
creation
you
will
what
be
a veil of light
burnt.
is? Can I ask you what a veil of light is?
It's a veil of light.
And what is it? It is physical. It is nowhere near the level of God. If it is nowhere near the level of God,
Yes,
how
and?
can it be his veil?
Oh!
Just as the veil of a woman covers her face, are you comparing the face of a woman
listen,
when she wears a veil
can
that
I-
covers her face?
Do you want to
veil of
know?
light
Do you want to
covering
know?
the face of
Do you want to
God?
understand? This veil veils our vision.
Okay,
Do you get it?
So the veil that a woman wears across her face, it is covering her face.
This is not
from
talking about
man.
women, is it? It's talking
I'm
about.
using an analogy. I'm using an analogy.
This is nothing to do with analogy. What it talks about, if the veil was removed, the creation will be burnt. So the veil
And what
is
will it be burned from?
from glory of God.
Yes.
It tells you.
Which is limitless.
So if
If the glory
you
of God
have
is
a
limitless,
creation, the creation cannot comprehend. La yudrikuhul absar.
you know why it cannot? Because it is limited. Do you know what else is limited? Light is limited.
Jude, I'm explaining to you. So now you have the human beings and all of the creation. The creation that you have, it can never comprehend God. That means the creation,
Yes.
He's a Muslim.
listen, the creation is finite.
Yes.
So the veiling, if it's removed, it will destroy all of finite
Can I ask
creation.
you something?
So now,
Can I ask you something?
Now-
Is the veil of light finite or is it infinite?
the veil of light is necessary. Whatever the veil of light is, I'm saying that veil of light, if it's removed, it's no longer in front of the finite creation. So the finite creation is not shielded from the glory of God. They will be destroyed and burned.
So can I ask you something? If God were to say to you, I am coming, wear a veil, no matter what that veil was made of,
What does it
the
say God is
glory
coming
of
with the
God
veil?
would break through.
That's Christian
Whether-
belief God is coming with a veil. It's not like
No,
in
I
Islam.
didn't say he's coming with a veil.
So
I
don't
said-
bring something like
God
this.
said, I am coming to you, cover your face because it will burn. No matter what veil you put across your face, whether it were light or just silk, the glory of God would break through it because God is limitless.
What you didn't understand is this. This veil will protect the creation from being destroyed. So God has a veil that He's put in place, a creation, that will protect its creation. Do you understand that point? So God is erected a veil to protect the creation. If God were to remove this veil, the creation will be destroyed. This veil, you need this veil, hear me out, you need this veil as big or as much as necessary to encompass the finite creation. You don't need an infinite veil because the creation is
Can I ask you
finite.
something? Do you understand what personal pronouns are? When it says His veil of light, it is referring to Allah, not to mankind.
Exactly.
And
So
that-
it is Allah's veil
yeah.
of light.
And how-
Allah has a personal veil of light that can cover Him, but He is limitless.
Hang on,
Is he
who,
not?
who said it covers?
The verse says.
What you didn't know is this is the problem that you always Christians do. It says always take the context. This veil is only as much as necessary to protect the creation from being destroyed.
Does it say that?
How much? It does say that. It says if it was removed, what's going to happen? The creation
all
will be
the creation
destroyed.
will be burned.
So, is the creation infinite or finite?
The creation is finite.
Right. So, do you need a finite veil or infinite veil?
But God is infinite.
You need an infinite veil for Allah.
You need an
Because he's
infinite veil for
infinite.
Allah.
For the finite creation to be
This
protected,
is a massive logical fallacy.
listen.
It's a logical
Because
fallacy.
that which is finite cannot protect itself from that which is infinite.
Let me give you an example. Your rationalization so far hasn't helped you. Look,
Oh man, you're
look.
killing it,
Look.
bro.
In Islam, doesn't exist.
This,
Crushing him.
imagine now, this is the whole of the creation, my thumb, yeah? If God puts
Give
a,
it up, give it up. You
Listen.
lost it.
are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
Mansur, it's a bad
This
day for you
is
today.
a creation, all of the creation. God puts a veil above and all around that finite.
Okay.
I have not
It
finished.
doesn't say that. It says
No, no,
his
okay,
will.
hang on.
It doesn't say
I want you to
the
think.
will for the.
No, it doesn't
He's
say
such a
that.
liar.
You're doing bidder, bro.
Why are you adding to your word?
If God puts a veil around that finite creation,
That's not his
It
goal.
doesn't say
That's what
that.
it says.
God's veil to protect.
Here,
No, but the
That's
thing is,
right.
even if it did say that,
Hello?
it still wouldn't make sense.
Hang
That's
on.
the entire
Listen,
point.
listen.
Makes sense.
The bill of
If
grace
God-
is so strong,
if God-
so powerful, so omnipotent,
So
that it can-
do you realize?
Can we look at the verse again? Because it says
Yeah.
all
It's
of
not a verse.
creation.
It's not a verse.
Whatever
it's
it
a
is.
statement.
A statement. Does it not say all of creation?
Yeah.
Is light a part of all of creation?
Hang on.
Would light itself not be burned by the glory of God?
No, this is a
Oh,
different
man,
kind of
that's too
light.
logical for Islam.
It's a different
Don't
kind of
be
light.
like that.
Oh, it's a different kind of light. Is it a light that is equal to God? Because surely anything less than God would be burned by the
It's
glory
not
of God.
God. Do you not
It's
get it
greater than
simply?
Yes, I get that. And
Right.
anything that is not God. would
Can
be
God
absolutely obliterated
can
by
God create a veil for the creation
So powerful.
to be protecting the creation?
In Islam, he can.
Yes, he can, and that's why I
Then
believe
what's
that God
the problem?
can. No, because that's your problem with Christ. How can God limit Himself in a man? Oh, but God
Okay.
can limit Himself
So
by a
No,
veil
no,
of light.
no.
Here is the difference.
No, but he
What
can
you
limit himself in a man.
My
What
God
you
can
are-
willingly limit Himself,
Listen.
which He
That's
did
deep.
because He loves the world so much.
Jude,
He takes
Jude,
sin,
Jude.
but your
Jesus
God
said
cannot
he's come
limit
back later.
Himself.
Listen, Jude.
You limit your God, but yet your God says He limits Himself, puts a
Jude.
veil of light
Mansur,
before Him,
goodbye.
which would cover His glory.
Finish.
End of
Tell me when you
Mansur.
finish.
End of Mansur.
Are you done?
Mansur, just
Right.
take it off, man. Take
All
it
right,
off.
So
the
listen.
Mansur, man.
In your belief system,
It's dying down.
God limits.
Disaster.
In our Islamic system, God has no limits. God
Oh, he
doesn't
has
limit
a
Himself.
veil for a limit.
Are you
Veil is
listening?
limiting him.
In our concept in Islam, God is not limiting. He's only restricting the vision of the creation with.
never
Jude.
Why did He not say, I will blind all of creation as
Jude.
so it does not
Jude.
burn when it sees me?
Jude.
It didn't say that. It said, I have a veil before me, a veil of light.
Shame on
And if
Mansur.
I remove it, all of creation will be burned. That's very, very simple, my
So this veil, and
This is some magical veil that's separate from the rest of creation.
if God, look, I'm giving you an interpretation. If this veil God created to protect the human creation, God is not changing. Do you get that?
Nope, that's not true.
Do you get that?
Yes, God does not change, yes. of course.
Excellent. So
God is
now,
limiting
so
himself.
now I've explained to you from the Islamic concept, an interpretation I've given you.
Not as powerful
In
as
your
the veil.
concept, on the contrary, in which God is unknowledgeable, He doesn't put a limit to Himself. He simply becomes less than unknowledgeable. Does it make sense?
For a limited
Come on.
time, yes, he
Get over here.
does.
Your legs move.
Yes, it does make sense.
How?
Absolutely makes sense.
How does it make sense?
And it also makes sense to me.
How does it make
No,
sense?
No, I'm going to say it does make sense. I'm
don't
also
use
going to say, to me, it would make
Awesome
sense
job, man.
if
We don't
God
hold our
permitted
head
that
when
the
we're
veil of
down
light
economy.
would cover His face, because I believe that God can limit Himself for His love of His creation.
Right.
Only
Let me-
you do not
You do
believe
not
that,
believe that.
yet your
Oh.
Quran says it happens.
Can God limit Himself from loving
Man, bingo.
and not being loved?
Bingo.
Well, God is love. God is the epitome of love.
so answer
Hence
the
why
question.
He died for His creation.
So answer the
that
question.
deserved nothing but death.
So now I asked you a question.
Yes.
Can God, in your belief system of God, in your concept of God,
So, Jude,
stop being
essentially, Jude,
loving
that man's so
and not
proceed.
love
And he has no
anymore?
answer. And then we can move on to something
We
else.
can move on.
Do you understand my question?
So what's your question?
My question is, you say God can limit Himself. So God is loving, He can stop being loving. So can God, in your concept of God, be not love anymore and devoid of any love?
Well, what do you mean by that? Because there are things that God hates, yes.
No, I'm asking not about hating. Loving and hating is not the same thing. Two different things, right?
Yes.
So in your concept of God, you said God can do and limit His divinity, right?
God is all powerful, yes.
Yeah, God is all powerful to limit even Himself, His attributes. So God
Like the veil.
can.
Like God, when God veils in.
Are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
So God is love to you. Love is an attribute.
The epitome of love, yes.
Right. So can in your concept of God, God stop from being loving and He has no love anymore? Can he limit that?
God
Can he
can
limit
do
that?
whatever he would like. If God would like to do that,
So he
but
can?
God would not like to do that.
Can he?
because God is loving.
So in your concept, can he?
Against his nature.
What's that?
That's what.
So when you say God can limit himself, go against his nature is being all knowledgeable.
No.
So can God go against his nature and become
That's his power.
not all
If he
knowledgeable?
wants to limit himself,
Okay.
that's his power, not
Jude,
his nature. His nature is
look at me.
loving.
The nature of God, he has knowledge, and his nature of knowledge is what? All knowledgeable.
And now
Do you understand?
Is
Right.
the shank more powerful?
To go against his nature would be to become less than all knowledgeable. Do you follow?
That's not going against his nature. That's just limiting his power temporarily.
It's not power, knowledge we're
That's
talking
his
about.
power. He has it in his power. If he wants to change and become a man, that's in his power. It's not in
Jude,
his nature. He's still
we're
loving.
talking
As a
about
man, he's still loving.
an
As he's
attribute-
God, he's loving. Jesus was loving. That's why he came and died, because he's loving.
Knowledge.
That's the completion of his love.
The nature of
That's what
God
it
is to know everything, all knowledgeable, omniscient.
Now, does Allah know?
In
that
your
we are
concept,
stronger than he is?
if his nature is to be all knowledgeable, to become ignorant will go against his nature.
So,
Likewise,
give it up, bro.
likewise,
You're powerful.
God
Yet knowing
is-
And
there's
I
a
will
veil
say
that's
to
more powerful
you,
than he is.
because you say that, and you are referring to that as because Christ did not know all, then I will say to you, is God's face not limitless?
Yea or
Is
nay?
God's face not limitless?
Come on, Mansur.
God's face is just an attribute of
But
God.
you have to
Wait a
understand.
minute.
It describes,
No, it's not.
it describes all of God.
Of Allah called Al-Face.
God's face in the language of the Quran describes the entirety of God.
Called his face. So
Right.
therefore, his face
My question to you now is this. You believe in the necessary attributes of God like love.
Yes, yes.
Can God, in your concept,
That's difference.
limit his love and not to be loving?
Well,
That's his nature. It's not his. The power is
It's not
different than
attributes.
nature.
yeah, the
That's
power
his
and nature are
is-
different. He
yeah.
could, he has
He's
the
trying
power
to
to
confuse
do
you.
anything,
Yeah.
but his nature of his love. He is
Does he
so
have,
loving.
does he have the
that
power
he-
to cease to exist?
No. He does
That
not go
is
against
the
his
balance.
nature.
And
He
that
is
is something that only
eternal.
happened in
Going
Islam.
extinct would be against his
Jude,
nature.
you're not
He
discussing
does
with
go
me, are you?
against
You're not helping. So use your God-given intellect,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And let's
And try
reflect.
to help me.
So,
okay, so
I
I'll
wanted
explain
to
to
help
you.
you, right?
Potentially,
So,
Allah can be able to
God-
do this because he can make
God's,
shine into his glory. So maybe he can do it, but our God cannot.
So God is one. When Christ is one with God, the Father's will and Christ's will are the same. When man becomes one with God, man denies his will.
You're preaching
Wait,
again.
No.
You're talking about man.
explaining to you.
Talk about God.
So man puts down his own will for the will of God. So
God has will.
These hecklers to stop talking.
Can God will something against his nature?
For Christian hecklers, you have to say something. But not
In your belief system, can God will something against his nature?
for his love of mankind, he did willingly limit himself. Yes.
So you are affirming God can will something against his nature.
That's not what he said.
No, that's not what it
That's what Allah
says.
does.
He's always twisting the word. That's
Okay, let me ask you again. Answer me plainly and simply.
No, you
In
haven't
your
done that,
belief
so you
system,
don't have to.
can God go against his nature? Can he will something against his
So
nature?
here's the thing. The problem still lies in your court because you don't believe so. You don't believe
No.
so. Yet it is your Quran.
Let's talk about
that
your
says his face
excuse me.
was covered by a veil of light.
It doesn't say that in the Quran, so you're missing.
Hadith, I mean, it's in the Sunnah. Yeah.
Don't confuse things which you have no knowledge of.
Oh, now he's gonna just try to get low blow.
Jude,
Low blow.
tell me plainly and simply.
You haven't done that, man. So why should you?
Yeah.
In your belief, can God go against his nature? Can God will something against his
The thing
nature?
is, we're going in circles.
No.
Yeah, we
We're
are.
talking about
No.
the same thing. I've asked you thrice.
You know what this? Let's assume Christianity is wrong. So then let's go to you.
Okay, let's
Please
not
explain to
let's
me
not
how
assume
your
Christianity is wrong.
limitless
Wait,
God-
Let him speak. Let him speak.
Let's establish Christianity is wrong.
Oh, now he's just okay. You didn't let him finish. Why aren't you letting him finish?
Tell me again.
No, you're just imposing yourself on
Okay,
him.
you've asked me questions about Christianity.
One more time.
But you will
Wait.
not accept
One more
questions about Islam.
time. One more time. I started talking to you about your concept of God. Did I?
Yes.
The question wasn't about my concept of God.
Well, no, we're in a discussion.
Wait.
It's a discussion.
I started
No.
asking you a question.
He's talking at you.
And you have so far still confusing in your explanation who God is. So hang on. Jude.
I will answer your question. I will say to you.
So tell me now, in your belief, this is my fourth time I'm asking the same question.
It's a discussion or it's a monologue?
Will to
Are you interviewing him?
Okay, so I will answer.
Go ahead, answer.
So we keep talking about my God
Answer.
and the problems of Christianity.
Answer.
So I will say, fine.
Answer.
I will say my religion is incoherent.
Answer.
No, yeah, I just did. My religion is incoherent. Sure.
So you're saying God can or cannot? What's the answer? So you're not even listening to the question. One last time. In your concept of God, not mine, in your concept of God, can he will something against his nature?
Sure, fine.
So you believe that, right?
Okay, sure.
Wait.
Can we please just...
Wait. So let's develop that bit more.
But
Wait.
it's not about Christianity.
Let's develop
about
that.
Islam.
No, it's about your concept of God. Let's develop that. So you are saying God can will something against his nature. What does it mean?
Okay, sure. Let's imagine Christianity is false.
No,
whatever.
Not imagine anything. We have so far demonstrated
Islam and
wrong.
Christianity are
Incorrect.
Are
So let's
separate religions.
Excuse me.
So sure, Christianity
Jude,
is wrong
I'm not going to let you off the hook.
incoherence. Let's then go to
I'm
Islam.
not going to let you
but
off
there is
the
an
hook.
incoherence. Can you?
I'm not going to let you off the hook
No,
yet.
no, you won't.
So now tell me, you just admitted God in your concept can go and will something against his nature. Tell me
No,
what it
we
means.
didn't say that. He's
I
putting
said,
words in your
sure,
mouth.
Christianity is false.
No.
End of discussion. You've proved me wrong.
excuse
Now,
me. No, excuse me.
tell me about Islam.
Jude,
please explain
Jude,
to me
Jude,
the contradiction in the Hadith that a limited light would cover the face of a limitless God.
Wow. So,
I'm asking you a
answer him.
question.
He already answered you. Why are you answering him?
Is immune from questions about the paradoxes that it presents, but mine is not. Yeah, I have said sure, and now
Sure
you will
what?
not answer.
What did you
sure,
answer?
Sure, mine's wrong. Please
No,
explain to
it's
me
not
how
mine
yours-
wrong or not. Did I ask you your religion is wrong? No. I asked you a specific question, which was? Rephrase my question.
Can God will?
Rephrase my last question to you. I've asked you 5 times.
Can God will to do something against his nature?
And your answer
Exactly.
was?
I said sure. And
Sure means what? Yes?
Yes.
Right. Okay, stop there. You said yes.
Wow.
Now tell me what it means.
Okay, this is the point.
No. Don't go anywhere else. Tell me what it means when you say God can will against his nature.
Sure, I'm not defending Christianity anymore.
No.
Christianity is false.
No,
you have made me realize
no.
how contradicting it is. And now please tell me how Islam is not contradicting.
Oh, okay.
Tell me how Islam
Tell
is
him.
not contradicting.
Answer him.
When the Hadith says that Allah has a veil of light, it says His
I want to
veil is a
congratulate
light.
you.
A light is limited.
Hang on, stop. I want to congratulate you for apostatizing from Christianity.
No, he hasn't. He's just.
Did you not say Christianity is wrong?
No. He's
Let
saying
me
let's
tell
suppose
you
that Christianity is
why I
wrong.
had to do that because to move on to ask you
Did
something.
you not say Christianity is wrong? I want to congratulate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because we have different understandings of God. I believe that God can will to limit himself and his love for the world led him.
Jude, did you speak the truth when you said yes, Christianity is wrong? Or did you
No,
lie?
I didn't. I lied. And
So I
I'm
don't speak
lying.
liars. Thank you.
No.
End of discussion.
And no discussion. You don't want to respond. Okay, listen.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, he asked you a question about Islam.
Let me explain to you why I lied. I had to lie because
Run away, Mansur. We lost your worst day of Mansur in the speaker's corner. Mansur lost. Mansur, there's a shame on Mansur for losing to a young Christian. Young Christian just kicked his butt. He's running away from a young Christian because you cannot answer the young. Mansur, shame on you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So here's the point. Discussion's done. Ask me
Allah's veil is greater than Allah. Allah's veil is covering his light.
Christianity has been denounced, but let me not explain how my religion has been.
Go away. We don't need your kind of convincers here.
Do you know what your religion? Oh, look at how they flee. They hate.
They hate. That's right. They hate talking about Islam. None of these Muslims will talk about Islam.